Hi, good afternoon. I know I've been missing for a while, but this little Christmas elf has been busy crocheting. And sadly I can't really show you what I've been crocheting because it's for Christmas presents. And my family may or may not watch this video, so I don't want to spoil any surprises. First of all, why don't I put things in reach? If you follow me on Facebook, you may know that I sadly broke my Crochet Queen mug. Anyway, my lovely friend Sarah, who's very crafty in these kind of things, made me a new one. It's different colours, not quite identical to the one I had, but it's got Crochet Queen on both sides, so it doesn't matter which way I drink out of it. I'm still going to be a crochet queen. And that kind of a... I do have some lovely friends, if I say so myself. I haven't seen anything of Kelly because her eldest little boy has had chicken pox. Again. Yeah. I know he's had them once before, but he's got them again. So even though I've had my injection against shingles, I just don't want to go in near any chickenpox viruses, you know, just in case. Because I believe, you know, shingles is a terrible thing. Right, what have I got? Well, I thought that I had finished with my interweave crochet, but apparently not. Another one came through. This is just the Winter Blues, and I think it's maybe just an additional one to the interweave crochet, because it's just got accessories in. It's got a very, very pretty cowl. I'm going the wrong way again. Very, very pretty cowl. I think that is so lovely. The colours are just, if you like pastel colours, which I don't usually, but I do occasionally go crazy and like them. It's got a sweater that's very, very open work, if you can see the other pattern there. Oh, and the light. I've had to put the light on it, you know, the light, but it's shining on everything now. But my last videos were so yellow that I had to go into the garage and find my, you know, great big diffuser daylight light, which I don't like in the house because I trip over it everywhere. That's sort of, it says it's a capelet, but whether it's a hooded capelet, I don't really know. I haven't read the instructions because it only came yesterday and I've been busy bee since then. I've got Gigi looking at me, but he'll have to stay on the floor for the time being because I'm busy. Two other cowls. One's got cables on it, one's just done in different colours. That's like a long scarf, stroke, shoulder warmer, stroke, whatever you want to call it. And that's a pretty one, again a wide scarf or shoulder wrap, whichever you want to call it. I do hope the light's not shining too badly on it, but it's raining and it's so dim and dingy out here that it's terrible. This is unusual. It's got sort of like a shrug front. When you get to the back, you see it's very, very unusual on the back view. Not keen on it, but someone may like. That's another wrap. It's sort of, I don't know whether you can see it or not, it's sort of in a basket weave pattern. That's the whole thing. It's very close together, instead of being a holy one. And the last one is a cardigan, which I quite like. It's short, but it's a nice one. I suppose you could always make it longer, but it would be a bit awkward trying to make it that bit longer because it's done side to side, so you may have a little problem. Gigi is winding his way through the tripod legs, so if I suddenly go woohoo, you know where I've gone. What else have we got in here? I don't think you really want to go out in the rain, sweetheart. Don't think you really want to go out in the rain. No, it's good boy. There's some more in here, but I'm looking for them now. Ah, here we go. That's a scarf. I don't know whether you can see the close-up of the stitch. I don't know whether you chain that on afterwards or whether it's incorporated into the stitch. I'm not sure. Once again, I've not read the pattern. I do like these. They're long fingerless mittens with a button cuff. I do like those. For those of you who like amigurumis, that's a beautiful little snowman. And on the other side of the page there's some kind of a purse or bag or whatever you want to call it. Woo, there we go. There we go. And we've got another wide scarf. Come shawl, come whatever. That's a tablet cover. Woo, tablet cover. And that looks like a bib. It's actually a, you know, one of those little neckerchiefs. And I think that's it. So this is Interweave Crochet Winter 2020. Now why it's Winter 2020 where we're only in 2019, I don't know, but still. That's what it is. It's got that on the front cover if you want to look for it in your shops and that. Well, I had a nice surprise at weekend. My friend brought me back these tops that she'd had. She took them ages ago to photograph them and never did. It was before we started off our Lancashire Crafty Lasses page, and we were still with Making Mart, which was her channel. So this will be coming back and being photographed. Please don't ask me which pattern it was because, to be truthful, she's had it that long, I forgot. This is another pattern, but I can't remember offhand what it is. But it came out very, very tiny. But it's okay if you're a tiny little girl or you've got a teenager. I did show it once before when I made it, but it's a long time ago. And it's got the side panels in it. Look, if you can see, side panels. I will be taking photographs of these when they eventually get onto the Lancashire Crafty Lasses, but I've been so busy. So busy. And then this is just a little shorty bolero that I made in cotton. So once again, I mean, I'm not in a rush to put these on our web page at the moment because they are more summery. And when I made them, it was summery, so... Right, let's get on to the main event. I don't know whether you can see, no you can't see, I'm going to have to lift it up a bit. This is what I've been making recently. That is a hat and a sort of a wrap over cowl set. That's a hat is separate. And then that's done sideways, fringed and got the buttons added to it. So, when I get around to it, Gigi, you can't want to go out, sweetheart, you just be. When I get around to it, photographs will be going on Lancashire Crafty Lasses. But if you like anything in between time, before it gets on there, please email me. My email address will be underneath the video. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, so soft, it's like chenille, velvety chenille. It's a scarf, admittedly not a hugely long scarf, but it's a scarf. And it's done in ice yarn. You can see the lovely colours, but it's, wish you could feel it. It's like velvet, it's just gorgeous. And it's got a little hat with a pom-pom to match. See the colours? The gorgeous, gorgeous colours. So lightweight as well. I've got another set in the greens and the beiges and the creams. That's that shirt. I've got this pom-pom on now. That's that. And it's got a... Ooh, wait, if I can put it next to me then you can see which way it goes. Oh, Janet, what are you doing? You know, I had them all arranged nicely. And then I picked them up and I've lost... whatever. Lost the track, lost the plot. Lost the plot. Anyway, that is the way it goes. Where are we going now? It's that colour. It's another wraparound cowl, you know, like this one I've just shown you before. And it's done in the stripes and with the brown pseudo, I think there might be proper wooden buttons, but it's got those on, but it's got the fringing on. This one is another set. It's done sort of a denim blue, a grey, a pink and a cream. It's got the pom-pom on, done in the multicolours. That's the colours. That again is got a buttoned cowl that matches it. Once again it fits like the one on the mannequin, but that's the colours of it. And that's, oh, the buttons it's got on, it's got pink buttons with flowers on. I will be putting photographs of these on my Urban Gypsy page, and eventually they will be going on the Lancashire Crafty Lasses. This is another proper scarf set. It's that long with the fringing on the bottom. Once again it's ice yarns. There are no patterns for any of these sets because I just make them up as I go along. And that has a matching hat with pom-pom. You see the pom-pom? See the hat? It's sort of like turquoises and maroons. And it's just a plain pull-on bobby hat. This is another what I call a proper scarf set. This is so beautifully soft, it's untrue. I know it's got a halo on it, it's got a fuzz, but it is so gorgeously soft. And that has got a fringe, woo, a fringe on the bottom too, a sunny with a fringe on top. The colours of that are lovely, they're very autumnal, aren't they? Very autumnal. And that has got a hat that's fallen down, but it has got a hat with pom on. Another little sort of beanie with a pom. I mean, Kelly suggested I took photographs of me wearing them. I'm like, nah, don't think so. But we'll see how we go on. This again is another proper scarf. When I say proper scarf, I mean it's not seamed together, it's not got buttons on or anything, it's a scarf. And this is done in some gorgeous, gorgeous different textured yarns. They're so pretty, I love these. It's got the fluff on it, it's got all different colours and shades. And all the shades are the same in the fringing. All the fringing matches up with the striping. I love that. And that's got a hat that goes with it too. It's got all the textures in the hat and the pom-pom. I love making these textured hats. I use them with all textured yarns that I buy from Ice. They're not necessarily oddments because I buy them specifically, you know, to go in these things. I don't just like go at random and pull things out of my stash. I do, you know, specifically sort of put my colours together, if you know what I'm saying, and design them together. And last but not least, this is a cowl, because I decided to stitch this together because it was a bit long for a crossover and it was a bit short for a scarf. So this one is a cowl in my favourite colours. So you're lucky, I'm actually putting this up for sale because I love it so much. Myself, it's just my colours at all, my colours. Now this one has not got a pom-pom on because it's more of a slouch. You can either wear it as a beret or a tam or whatever you call them, or you can wear it as a slouch hat, yeah. But I just love these colours. Yes, so my colours. So my colours. So I'm wearing just a plain dress today. I'm just jazzing it up a bit with a nice necklace. One of my collection. Sounds good, doesn't it? My collection. I don't design them, I just buy them. So I'm going to say I'm sorry I've been missing, but it's just been one thing after the other. You know, I've been ordering Christmas presents, so like the man from Amazon's been coming, and people from all over the other place where I've ordered things have been coming. And Gigi's been going frantic because the doorbells kept going. And I've had visitors, which I'm not complaining about. But this little Christmas elf has got a lot of crocheting to do between now and Christmas. And as I say, I can't show you any of it because it's presents. And I never know quite who my family are watching, if they do or if they don't. So I don't like, spoiling any surprises. So I've got lots of appointments between now and the middle of January, to do with the twinging in my leg. They think it's a nerve that's sitting on something. They've ruled out it being a cyst, and they've ruled out whatever it was, so they think I've got to have nerve conduction studies now to see whether it's that or not. I've got to go to the chiropodist, so that's nice, isn't it? Having my feet nicely. It's not a pedicure, sadly. It's just my toenails cutting, but it's nice to have your toes sorted out for Christmas, isn't it? So you're not going when you're walking. I'm very lucky actually, because I've never had a corn, touch wood, or anything like that. I did have a verruca when I was a small child. I got it from the swimming baths, but apart from that, I've had fairly trouble-free feet. Apart from neuropathy, but we don't talk about that. I'm looking forward to Christmas. We're not going Italian this year. We're actually going for what I call a proper Christmas dinner. So that will be nice, because that does mean that, my daughter-in-law, I think I told you, has had a knee replacement. So she's still at the hobbling about stage. So I'm going to tell my son not to bother, really inviting me Boxing Day. I don't want him to feel under any obligation, because, I don't want her hobbling about the kitchen, poor soul, when she's not feeling up to par, if you know what I mean. I may not get an invite. It may be that, they've decided that they're not doing Boxing Day this year. I don't blame them, because, when I had my knee replaced, it was a good 6 weeks before I felt like, being able to sort of walk and stand without it hurting so much. But she's doing very well, so I believe. Of course, I miss having Poppy around, I love my little... When they came to take her back, I'm like, are you sure you want to take her back? Are you sure she's not going to knock into Trish's legs? Are you sure? You may have noticed that I keep putting Facebook pictures up of cats and dogs. My friend helps out at a rescue centre, the Pennine Pen Rescue Centre, which is local to me. And that's what I actually asked for my birthday donations, was to go to the animal shelter. And I'm pleased to say we collected £67. And I've also had promise of a little bit more money that will be going to them as well. So well done everybody that donated. Thank you very much. That will help so much with the animals over, to feed them for a day probably, or whatever. My friend is involved in all the, she mans a charity stall in the market, even in this weather, which is cold and wet. And she also helps out in the shop, which they have a shop with donated gifts that they sell in order for the little animals. And the last time they had a fair, was it Christmas fair? I think they managed to get £4,000, which is great, for the animals over the winter. It's a no-kill shelter. I think I might have mentioned it before. And unless, of course, the animal is terminally ill and there's nothing that can be done. But it's not one that just, gets rid of animals because there's no room. Not one of them. But every time I see these pictures of these little dogs and little cats, and some of them are elderly, their parents, or whatever you want to call them, owners, have passed away, and left these little animals. And I'm like, oh, shall I get a cat? Oh, shall I get a dog? And then reality kicks in and you're saying no, because you can't walk a dog and it's not fair. If I could walk about, if I could take a dog a walk, I would have one in a heartbeat. I just love these poor little rescue animals. There's so many of them that want a new home. If I had a big house, loads of money, millionaire, I'd have a whopping house, whopping loads of gardens with kennels. I don't mean horrible kennels, I mean nice heated kennels and stuff. And adopt loads and loads of elderly dogs and dogs that nobody wants. I would adopt them all if I could find them all, yeah. Let them live out the rest of their life like in comfort, nice and warm, fed, not abused, So that's my pipe dream. It's not to have a fancy house, it's not to have a fancy car, it's just to adopt loads of animals and move into a bigger house. Well, when I say I don't want a fancy house, I mean move into a bigger house, just purely because I would need more room, wouldn't I, if I had loads of dogs. So we'll see. Never happened, but it's a pipe dream, isn't it? We're allowed to have Christmas wishes, aren't we, at this time of year? Not all monetary, are the Christmas wishes? Christmas wishes can be just health and, you know, things for your family and stuff. They don't always have to involve money, do they? Well, they do in a way that you have to maybe buy presents for people, but, you know, Christmas to me is all about family. I don't see my younger niece's children, or her, very often during the year because she lives in London. And she works full time, so, you know, it's not like she has loads of free time to nip up here. So I like to see the family, I like to see them, yeah. And then my son's family, you know, sometimes I go and I see the family over there. And I think that's what Christmas is all about. It's not about expensive presents, is it? And it's not all about glamour, glitz, and it's definitely, at my time of life, not about getting drunk. You know, the kids today that want to go out and get blotto all over Christmas. No. I never did it, to be truthful, I never did it. I have never been out Christmas Eve, or I think one time I did, since my son was born. Because me and my ex-husband used to go out for a couple of drinks on Christmas Eve, but I never did. To me, Christmas was about being with my son. I would have liked to have been with my husband, but he was never in. But, you know, about family. We did go out one Christmas Eve, and my son went to my mum's. And it wasn't the same Christmas morning. He opened all his presents at my mum's, and I never saw his little face. And I said to my ex-husband, I said, that's it, never again. Never spending Christmas away from him again. And I never did, no matter how grown up he was when I never went out. I've been out for a Christmas Eve drink locally, you know, when he was old enough to be left and when he was going out with his own friends anyway. But I've never wanted to go out. But New Year's Eve was different. We did used to like to go out, you know, somewhere, fancy dress or something like that, New Year's Eve. I did like to do that. That was my sort of evening out, if you know what I mean. I used to like the excitement of getting dressed up, you know, in the costumes and that, and going to the, you know, the do thing and seeing everybody else wearing their costumes and see if you could recognise half of them, you know. That was my my Christmas fun, was New Year, yeah. But I've never been a huge drinker, apart from when my marriage was ending, but that's a whole different story. But I've never really been a huge social drinker. So going out and getting drunk is just not my thing. Anyway, I'm going to go now before I get cut off, because I do not want to have 2 videos up. So hopefully I will speak to you again before too long, although I can't show you what I'm crocheting, sorry about that. I will show you photographs after the event. Bye for now.